Hey, what's going on, guys? John Shea here with the No Shame Income Vlog, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about a question that I actually just got from a student of mine. They asked me, how do you go about selling local SEO services to your potential clients? This could be small businesses, larger businesses, and basically what they mean is, how do you get a business basically to start working with you in terms of getting their business to show up in the top 3 of the Google Map Pack, right? If you go on Google and you search for something like electrician near me, you're gonna see a listing of all these different businesses that show up in that map pack. So I'm gonna talk a little bit today about some of the strategies I might use when I'm selling a potential business, how I would explain this to them, the value that we're gonna provide, and all the above. So before we dive into today's video, if you guys are brand new here on the channel or a returning visitor, don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions towards the end of the video, definitely leave me a comment and let me know, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. So let's dive into today's video. All right, so what I want to talk about today is basically a question that came through. Someone had said, "Hi John, how do you sell your local SEO services to your potential clients? Do you walk them through this process and say, this is what I'll be doing for you, or do you do it another way?" So this is definitely something that I think is really key, and for a lot of people out there, I initially had spent a lot of my time trying to figure out, like, how do I go about doing all this stuff? How do I get a business ranked in the map pack? And I was reading lots of articles and blogs, and I was trying to figure all this stuff out. But really the key to this, and being 100% honest, was not so much knowing how to actually do this stuff, but how to actually sell a business owner on, basically, hey, this is something I can do for you, and convincing them to actually pay me to do it. So I think that's going to be, bar none, the better skill that you could put yourself, spend your time trying to figure out. So this is an exciting question for me, because I know a lot of people that are out there and they're trying to figure out, like, oh, I'm going to figure out all this technical stuff and I'm going to learn how to rank all these businesses. But if you suck at selling, then nothing's going to work, right? It's kind of like if you went out and spent all of your time in the gym and you became like this really ripped, like crazy looking, like superhero dude, but you were really unconfident talking to women and you didn't know how to go on dates or like how to communicate properly, or you'd say stupid things, then it doesn't really matter, right? So that's kind of the process I look at when it comes to this stuff. So the first thing I would say is start thinking about how you can go about selling your services, and think about where you could find potential partners to actually go and fulfill this work for you. So what I like to do is something I like to call the pay it forward method. And if you guys have jumped on my email list, there's actually a link below in the description. You can go download an ebook where I break down this entire pay it forward method in depth. But more or less, to give you the kind of 60-second version of this, the pay it forward method is basically going out there and providing some kind of value to a business owner without asking for anything in return. So a strategy that I like to use for doing this is by creating videos. So in my browser, I have installed an extension called Loom, and this is basically a video recording software. So what I might do is I'd look at a business and try to find some things that are wrong with it. So if I were to go over to Google, I'll actually see if I can move my screen a tad here. If we go to Google and we type in like any business name, so let's do something like, I don't know, we'll just do like electrician, and I'll just pick a local city. So this is the one that I recently searched for. And if you look at a search like this, you're gonna see a few different things, and these are all things that you could talk about with a potential business owner. So I wanna talk about how I'd go about this and how you can kind of get the conversation rolling. So in this particular search, you can see we have 2 ads, 3 ads. These are all ads that people are paying for to be showing up here. But below that, if we scroll down, you can actually see there's a map pack, and this is one ad, but then below that, these are all businesses that are just showing up naturally in the map pack. And this is where most business, this is where they're gonna get the bulk of their phone calls. Beyond that, you've got kind of these bigger entity like websites like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Home Advisor, and Super Pages, Angie's List. You've got the BBB. There's even an Indeed thing here. So a lot of the organic results are going to be flooded with these like big entities, like big authority sites. So really where you want to get the businesses to show up is in the map pack. And you figure about 50 to 60% of people now are actually on their mobile devices and doing these same searches. So this map pack is even more prominent when doing those types of searches and looking for things like this. So in this particular case, you can see this business, not only are they number 1, but they also have 65 reviews. So if I were to click on more business, and let's say I was going out and prospecting with a company like this guy, Parks Electric and Sons. So this guy, I don't know if he's actually in business, but I see there's an address here. He's missing business hours. He doesn't have a website. The photo is literally showing like a house. So let's say, I mean, I'm going to guess this guy maybe is not in business given all of this, but there's a lot of things here that I could point out and share in a video. I could talk about, hey, did you know you don't have your business hours on Google? You don't have any reviews? Look at what your competitors are doing. This guy has 65 reviews. There's just so much stuff that you could talk about here. And if we go through this list, again, there's a lot of companies that I could go through. This company, it looks like they maybe do have a website. Let's pull it up. So this actually looks pretty legitimate, although it looks like they might be not quite like, this is like some contractor, maybe they do like high-end stuff. It's not like residential. Here's another one, no website, but they do have lots of photos. So it may be that they're active. If we maybe check out their Yelp, we can kind of do a little bit of research to figure out like what's actually going on. So it's kind of hard to tell like whether or not like this one's not claimed. So it's possible these guys like are not in business, but really what you have to do is kind of look at specific niches that maybe have a lot of different activity. Like you'll see at least some reviews on some of the businesses showing up lower. I know I was just looking at, we'll give you an example here. This is a business I know is very competitive. So if I search like med spa, you can see all these different businesses showing up here that all have reviews. And in a lot of cases, all of these businesses are actually within the city. So if I click on like this one here, you can see that they're actually located, this is the town over. Because I typed Lowell, this is Drake-it, these are all like nearby towns. So really what's gonna end up happening with a lot of these is trying to figure out like, you know, this is a great example. So this company Indulgence is in first spot, they have the most reviews, but then you've got Purple Blossom who's in the same town offering very similar services and they've only got 5 reviews. And they have some work that could be done here, right? Like they have no images of anything going on. They're not responding to their reviews. Let's take a look at their website. I mean, this site isn't too bad, but maybe it could be done up a little bit nicer. There's obviously a lot of potential here of things that could be getting worked on to help them really expand their business and do a lot more. So these are all things that I would point out. And the other thing that I would do is I would talk about good things, right? So like, I'm actually going to pull this back up. This website, right? They actually have, you can't see it, but I'll move this down. Up here in the URL bar, they actually have a SSL certificate installed. So I might point that out and say, well, your website is secure because you have your SSL certificate installed. It's easy to browse and see what you do. Like immediately I can see that they offer like deep tissue and Swedish massage, pain relief. Like I instantly understand what it is that this business does as soon as I visit their website. And it's possible they do other services as well, but these are all things that obviously, you know, I'd maybe have to go to the business and figure out like, well, what is this pain relief treatment? What is it that they do? And learning more here, like they have a video, but it doesn't really look like, you know, our pain relief treatment. Like, so this could be expanded on, like maybe there's something more specific going on here that they're doing to help with this pain relief that could turn more potential visitors into customers. So these are all things that you could point out. You could talk about how the phone number's up here in the top right. It's easy to find. And overall, you can just kind of get an idea of like what's going on that's good and bad. And very easily here, you were able to see that I was able to pretty much quickly pull up a business within a certain area and find some problems. So I usually like to start with that video and then transition into basically getting on the phone with them, spending some time talking about them, asking questions and like learning about what's going on and basically building a relationship with them. Almost just like if you were going out there and trying to like start dating a new person, right? You're gonna ask lots of questions and learn about them and understand what's going on and try to learn about what's going on in their particular life, right? So you're kind of doing the same thing when it comes to sales. And once you've established enough credibility, built some rapport, built enough trust with this particular business, then you could move to the next level of actually coming up with a specific offer to sell them on these services. So in this case, you know, I would basically, if I was working with Purple Blossom, I would tell them, hey, you know, our goal is gonna be to get you another 100 reviews. We're gonna try to get you into the top 3 of the businesses. We're gonna work on getting you more photos up. We're gonna take more photos of your business. We're gonna look at ways we can add more content to your website. And then I come up with a flat rate price. And generally for like a local SEO type service, I usually like to charge anywhere from $500 upwards of $1,500 a month. And it really all is going to depend on the competition, right? If you're trying to work with a plumber that's in a smaller city versus say like a lawyer that's trying to rank in a very competitive city, it's going to be very different. So anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. If you want to learn more about my pay it forward method and what I'm doing to go out there and kind of start these conversations, click the link below in the description. There's even an opportunity where you can also book a call with me, learn a little bit more about how I'm doing some of this stuff, and if you want to work with me one-on-one, we can chat a little bit more about that as well. All right, hope you found this video helpful, and again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Be on the lookout for more future videos, and thanks again for watching.